All right, we will call to order the regular meeting of Show Low Planning and Zoning Commission for April 10th, 2018. The roll call this evening shows all commissioners present. The invocation this evening will be done by Commissioner Adams, the pledge by Commissioner Berry. Would you all rise, please?
Our Father in heaven, we are very grateful to have the opportunity to meet together as a community this day. We are grateful for the beautiful area that we get to live in and to enjoy. Father, we pray as we come for this day, that as we talk about these issues in our community, that will be with us and help us to make good decisions and to understand the concerns. We pray that will be with us in all that we do, and we're grateful for all the blessings that will give us and those who serve our country, and to make it possible for us to enjoy this great area. And we say these things in the name of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, as is fairly typical, there is no old business on the agenda this evening, so we'll proceed directly to the first item of new business, which is consideration of conditional use permit 602-04-208 by Eduardo Saldana Facio to allow for a restaurant serving alcoholic beverages located at 2101 East Deuce of Clubs, that being Assessor's Parcel Number 210-24-003B. Ms. Feckelkai.
Thank you, Chair and Commissioners. A conditional use permit, or CUP, application has been submitted by Eduardo Saldana Facio to allow a restaurant serving alcoholic beverages located at 2101 East Deuce of Clubs, that being APN 210-24003B. The subject property was previously Jalapenos Cafe, which ceased operations at the location on March 29, 2018. The property was purchased by a new owner, and they wish to open a Mexican restaurant serving alcoholic beverages. A restaurant serving alcoholic beverages requires a CUP in the C2, which is General Commercial Zone. The applicant stated they plan to eventually be open 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. He stated that there will be no outdoor seating or overly loud music. In addition, the applicant plans to refurbish the parking lot and will screen and relocate the trash enclosure to minimize conflicts with vehicular traffic. There is currently no landscaping on the subject property. The applicant has submitted a proposed landscaping plan with the CUP application. However, it does not meet city code for landscaping requirements. The current zoning of the surrounding properties includes to the north, south, east, and west, C2, General Commercial. The current uses of the surrounding properties include to the north, Show Low Ford, to the south, Spur Feeds, to the east, Vacant Commercial, and to the west, the gas station. Transmittal memos were sent to all affected agencies. Applicable comments received include Arizona Department of Transportation, or ADOT, stated that due to the change of owner and occupants, a new encroachment permit for the driveway shall be submitted to ADOT. The property was posted and letters were sent to all property owners within 300 feet of the subject property. No comments have been received. After reviewing the standards for review, the zoning ordinance, discussions with the applicant, and because the request is consistent with the City of Show Low general plan, staff recommends that the Planning and Zoning Commission approve conditional use permit 602-04-208 submitted by Eduardo Saldana Facio to allow for a restaurant serving alcoholic beverages located at 2101 East Deuce of Clubs, that being APN 210-24003B. Subject to the following conditions. 1, all development shall comply with all applicable federal, state, and local requirements, including building permit, fire code, and ADOT requirements. Prior to opening the restaurant, shall obtain a city business license. Prior to the sale of alcohol at the subject property, a state liquor license shall be obtained. 4, landscaping shall be installed and maintained in accordance with the submitted landscape plan. 5, the surfacing of all accessways, interior driveways, and parking areas shall be surfaced in accordance with city code. 6, all signage shall meet the requirements of section 15-145 of city code. 7, any outdoor lighting shall meet all requirements of city code. And 8, this conditional use permit is non-transferable. Staff, as well as the applicant, is available for questions.
Thank you, ma'am. As usual, we will begin this evening with questions for staff. Be quiet.
Just a real quick question. I don't know
Yes,
if it's for
Vice Chair
staff
Roberts.
or for applicant. I'm not sure.
Both of them.
Sorry. Do you know if it's a full liquor license or is it beer and alcohol? I mean, beer and wine, sorry.
I think that'd be a question for the applicant.
Okay.
Anything for staff?
I do have a quick question. Are all surfaces now supposed to be paved?
Not necessarily paved, but not necessarily gravel. I want to say there's a type of pavement that they can use that isn't asphalt. Is that correct, Justin?
Sure. So this is an existing building. As an existing building, the existing parking lot is not required to be hard surface paved, so it does not have to be asphalt or concrete. The applicant has indicated that that is in their future plans, is to hard surface it. They would need to meet the minimum requirements, which would be a compacted base with like a gravel parking lot. So that's what they have to have now. They do have plans to improve in the future.
Thank you.
Any further questions for staff? All right, questions for the applicant. Looks like we're going to have a couple anyway. Will the applicant please come forward and state your name and address for the record, sir?
All right, good evening. My name is Eduardo Saldana, and I just recently relocated to Sholo on 1481 West Gardner Street.
Okay,
Okay.
Thank you
Any
very much.
questions? You're
get
welcome.
that? Okay. Ma'am,
I just was wondering about the alcohol license that you're planning to get. Is it a beer and wine or is it full bar?
We're gonna try to get it all. If the state says no, we're still gonna go for beer and wine only.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Commissioner Adams.
What would be your hours?
From Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 8 or 9, depends on how busy we are. Sunday, probably no breakfast, just 11 till 8, something like that.
Thank you.
Commissioner Clark.
Is this your first location, or do you have experience at other locations outside of our community in operating this type of business?
I have plenty of experience. I have worked at El Cupidos over in Snowflake and St. John's for the last 13 years.
Okay,
So, and this is our first location. We have decided to go into business, and we chose the city of Sholo. So,
great. Have you had any experience serving alcohol at those locations?
no, they don't sell alcohol over there.
So this is your first time you've,
With alcohol, yes.
okay, all right. Oh, yeah.
Further questions for the applicant? All right, seeing none, we'll open the session to the public. If there's anybody in the audience this evening that would like to speak to this particular issue, please make yourself known at this moment. And seeing none, we'll close the public session and bring it back to the commission for a motion. Vice Chair Robertson.
I move to approve CUP 602-04-208 submitted by Eduardo Saldana Gasco to allow for a restaurant serving alcoholic beverages located at 2101 East Usa Clubs, that being APN 210-24-003B, subject to staff recommendations.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second from Commissioner Berry and from Commissioner Adams. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Motion carries unanimously. Disclaimer, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Conditional use permit will be effective in 7 days if an appeal is received by the city clerk within that 7-day period. I would also like to remind the applicant that they will still need to go through the city council and the state liquor license board to obtain their liquor license from the state. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Best of luck. All right. We'll move to item 2 this evening, which is consideration of conditional use permit 602-04-209, submitted by Chris Johnson of Avalon Investments to allow for a drive-through coffee shop located at 421 North White Mountain Road, that being assessors parcel number 210-16-100D. Ms. Spector-Cotter?
Thank you again, Chair and Commissioners. Conditional use permit, CUP application has submitted by Chris Johnson of Avalon Investments to allow for a drive-through coffee shop located at 401 North White Mountain Road, that being APN 210-16100D. The subject property is a vacant parcel of land located between the Verizon store and Discount Tire on North White Mountain Road. The applicant plans to build a 2,400 square foot drive-through coffee shop with a small outdoor patio. They plan to serve coffee and tea drinks along with a limited menu of food items. The proposed hours of operation of the coffee shop are 7 days a week from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. The subject property is zoned C2, General Commercial. A drive-through use requires a CUP in the C2 zone. Conceptual drawings and a site plan have been submitted to the city, and they have been attached for your review. As indicated on the submitted site plan, the applicant proposes to use the existing driveways from Discount Tire and Washington Federal to access the property. The current zoning of the surrounding properties include to the north, south, and east, C2 General Commercial, and to the west, DC, which is Downtown Commercial. Current land uses of the surrounding properties includes to the north, Verizon Wireless, to the south, Discount Tire, to the east, Vacant Commercial, and to the west, Chase Bank. Transmittal memos were sent to all affected agencies, and applicable comments received include Timber Mesa Fire and Medical District must meet requirements of 2015 IFC as adopted. We also did receive a memo from ADOT after the staff summary was prepared. They said they didn't see any issues with it. The subject property was posted and letters were sent to all property owners within 300 feet of the subject property. No comments were received at the time the staff report was prepared. After reviewing the standards for review, the zoning ordinance, discussions with the applicant, and because the request is consistent with the City of Show Low general plan, staff recommends that the Planning and Zoning Commission approve conditional use permit 602-04-209, submitted by Chris Johnson of Avalon Investments to allow for a drive-through coffee shop located at 401 North White Mountain Road, that being APN 210-16100D, subject to the following recommendations. 1, all development shall comply with all applicable federal, state, and local requirements, including building permit, sign, fire code, and ADOT requirements. The applicant shall coordinate with the Public Works Department to ensure that adequate backflow protection will be installed. 3, landscaping meeting the requirements of City Code Section 15160D7 shall be installed and maintained. 4, parking and lighting requirements of Section 15146 of City Code shall be met. 5, the owner and applicant shall be responsible for obtaining any necessary ingress, egress easements from neighboring property owners. And 6, this conditional use permit is non-transferable. Staff, as well as the applicant, are available for questions.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it as always. We'll begin this evening with questions for staff.
I have just one. The red, there's the blue, and then you have the red area, which is the old Nick's grocery store. Is that still commercial property then? Is that still?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I have a question regarding item 5 on the staff recommendations. I assume that that means that access might at some point be available from either Verizon Wireless or directly from Discount Tire rather than just, is that what that is meant to
Either
detail?
the Discount Tire or actually through the Washington Federal.
All right, hang on a second here.
How would that happen?
Would that be off the Deuce on the backside?
Correct, yeah.
Oh, I see
Ah,
that road.
okay, all right, gotcha. Okay, thank you for that, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, answers that question. Any other questions for staff? Okay, how about questions for the applicant? None? All right, then we'll open it to the public. If there's anybody in the public who would like to speak to this particular issue, you may please come forward now and identify yourself for the record.
Good evening, Chair and Commissioners. My name is Michael Bosley, and I am the owner of White Mountain Purified Water and Ice and the Pour Station. Is that all the appropriate questions?
That's good.
Okay.
Thank you.
I do apologize. My hat hair is actually more embarrassing than having a hat in
It's all
front of
right.
you, so
We're
I
happy-
do
we're happy to have
apologize.
you.
Commissioners, Chair, I come to you in two different viewpoints. A, from the viewpoint of a coffee shop owner. Currently in the city of Show Low, within a 3/4 of a mile area, you have Persnickety's, Arizona Mountain Coffee, and also the Pour Station. It is not the biggest coffee shop town, and also there's another one slated or may not be THB Express there at Mountain Paint Center. That's a lot of strain as a business owner. We'd just like you to keep that in consideration when you do make your decision. We've worked hard to build our coffee shops, our standalone local mom and pop coffee shops. Corporations such as the one that is trying to move in here, they already have a location in Safeway. There's 2 locations in the White Mountains. I think a third, and I know I do speak for the other business owners, they had prior engagements. This would definitely hurt us. And with the minimum wage and everything else that's gone up, we've struggled. This has not been an easy way. This would really hurt. I also come to you as a citizen. That corner, and especially with that drawing during rush hour, during our busy season up here, that corner is nightmare. People pulling in and out of Verizon. It's just a horrific corner as it is. I'm not sure if the way that this is designed would actually, even though, yes, I heard that ADOT approved it, I'm not sure if this would actually be beneficial to the town of Show Low the way that current traffic situation is. And once again, I thank you for your time, and please consider my thoughts in your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate the input. Any other questions from the public? Okay, we will close the public session and bring it back to the commission for Vice Chair Robertson. Do you have something?
Do I address it to Ms. Spector Carter? It's for staff. Do it? Oh, okay. My question is, as a planning and zoning commission, do we have the right to say a business can't, even if we feel there's 3 or 4? I mean, is that within our scope?
As the Planning and Zoning Commission, you have the right, the ability to review any application based on the physical merits of that application. Technically, the name on the application should have no bearing on whether you say yes or whether you say no. What you need to look at is the application on its face, and does it have conflicts with the neighboring properties, the area in general. So to just look at something and say, we've received an application for business X, we already have a number of business X type businesses here in town, that you really can't do. What you can do is say, does this meet city code requirements? Have they addressed the building design requirements? Have they addressed parking requirements? Have they addressed landscaping, drainage, all of those things that are spelled out in city code? That is what is within the purview of the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Thank you very much.
Just to clarify, but ADOT said they were okay with that. I'm really, it's ADOT's choice anyway, that we have no control over that, but they were okay with that.
Right, so in this instance, the property abuts White Mountain Road. It's a state highway. ADOT is who has jurisdiction over that and what type of access will be allowed and permitted onto their road. In this case, the applicant has discussed this project with ADOT. I'm going to see if I can go back to another slide right here. So you can see the area outlined in blue is the proposed location for this application that you see tonight. You can see Discount Tire directly to the south, the Verizon store, and then we've got the bank there on the corner. In working with ADOT, what we understand is that this application and the proposed site plan is reflective of this, that they have pushed their access as far to the south as possible. They will be utilizing a shared driveway with Discount Tire. There will be no additional driveways between the existing driveway of Discount Tire and the existing driveway of what we call the Verizon store. So you will not see any additional driveways in that location. They have also worked with the owners of the bank here on the corner and have worked with ADOT to get a shared driveway with the Washington Federal Bank that will loop around the backside as well. So again, no additional driveways. They're tying into driveways that already exist. They are working with those property owners to get the easements and everything that go in place with those driveways. And ADOT has reviewed that and has, at least from what we understand, conceptually approved those shared driveways.
Will they enter and exit the same driveway?
It is possible. For example, this driveway here where Discount Tire is now, it would be possible for them to turn off of White Mountain Road, come into that area, circle through the coffee shop, go through the drive-through, go inside the business, whichever that worked. Potentially, they could come back out here onto White Mountain Road and make the same turns that they could right now with Discount Tire. So make a right-hand turn, which is the easiest, we all know that, or potentially make a left-hand turn across White Mountain Road just as you could now coming out of that driveway. They would also have the option of going out onto the Deuce of Clubs if that worked better for them.
But there is no access at the the northwest corner. Is there a driveway access?
There is no access from the proposed project to the Verizon parking lot.
Okay,
So their only access would be off of the Deuce of Clubs, east of the bank, or off of White Mountain Road between them and Discount Tire in that existing driveway.
okay, thank you for that. Further questions for staff? All right, we're through, no questions, further questions for the applicant?
I'm just wondering if, I would like to ask a quick question of the applicant, please.
All right, will you please come forward and identify yourself for the record?
Charlie Pelletier with Avalon. Last name is Pell. Ettier. Address is 7333 Doubletree Ranch Road, Scottsdale.
So, hi.
Evening.
Have you talked to, because I'm trying to look here on the map and see where the actual coffee shop would be located. Have you talked to the Verizon store to see if there could be an additional access there through that?
From what I understand, ma'am, again, I haven't done the original research on the project, but I believe that we have not approached the Verizon store, not looking at that cross-access easement there.
Okay.
We dealing with with Discount Tire and with the bank.
Mr. Tagaskis, did you have a comment?
Yeah, and understanding the representative is fairly new to the project. My understanding is they actually have approached the owner of the Verizon store who is not interested or has not responded
Okay.
to tying those in, which is why the site plan shows the drive-through circling around with no connection to that other
Okay.
parking lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
One quick question.
Sir?
So on the bank side, they will be using the same bank exit there. The road will tie around and tie right into their exit off 260. Is that correct?
Correct. The submitted site plan, you can see them, and it's turned sideways, so it makes it a little bit difficult for those of us who are more familiar with the area to visualize. What would normally be east is north on this map. You can see them looping around and coming in and tying into that existing driveway there. My understanding is they have discussed that with the Washington Mutual representatives who are agreeable to that situation. Easements would obviously need to be obtained and recorded for that to happen.
Anything further? All right, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. All right, we will bring it back for a motion. All right.
Okay, I guess I'll do
Okay.
it. Okay, I move to approve CUP 602-04-209 submitted by Chris Johnson of Avalon Investments to allow for a drive-through coffee shop located at 401 North White Mountain Road, that being APN 210-16-100D, subject to staff recommendations.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second? All right, second by Commissioner Adams. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the motion then carries unanimously. Mr. Tagaskis?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As with all conditional use permits, there is a 7-day appeal period. If no appeal is received by the city clerk within those 7 days, this conditional use permit will be considered effective.
All right, thank you. All right, moving forward. We have, hopefully everybody's had a chance to look at the minutes from the February 13th meeting. If there are any questions regarding them, raise them now. If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Moved.
All right. Have a motion. Do we have a second? All right, we have multiple seconds. All right. All those in favor of approving the minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, any opposed? All right, minutes are duly approved.
Mr. Chair, just as a matter of business, we did have public hearing scheduled on the agenda. Call to the public, not public hearing.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I do that far too frequently. So, all right. Ma'am, you want to address the group?
Evening. Touche.
Okay.
I have no questions.
All right, thank you very much, and thank you for, somebody needs to remember to smack me upside the head. Anyway, all right, summary of current events, we'll begin with. I can reach you from here. Commissioner Clark.
I'd just like to welcome Linda aboard. It's great to have you on the team. I'd assume, our condolences that you have to work with Justin so frequently, but we are excited to have you aboard, so.
Thank you, Commissioner Bishop.
Nothing to share tonight, thank you.
All right, Commissioner Adams.
I just want to commend the city on the wonderful playground they have provided in the new city park, or not new, but the new equipment. It is very, very well attended, more so than the other.
Commissioner Berry. Nothing. Vice Chair Robertson.
Just want to say it's great to see all the building that's going on, and nice to see that things are going well. And our weather, let's be fires wise.
I will second that and welcome, Linda. We're
Yes,
glad to
Linda.
have you. Mr. Trakaskis.
I apologize that Linda has this particular cross to bear. We welcome her. We're grateful to have her. She has already shown that she is a welcome addition to the department and to the team. So welcome, Linda. Also would like to announce that we are in the process of filling the position for Community Development Specialist. That position includes what we would commonly refer to as code enforcement. So things like landscaping, vehicles that don't run, that type of thing. That's what this individual will work with. We expect that person to start on Monday. So again, we look forward to seeing some things being done there.
That's a plus.
Yes. And then just a reminder, again, it's been brought up. This is shaping up to be a pretty severe fire season for us. There have already been a number of what we would probably refer to as spot fires, which show that there is some great potential out there. Please just be careful. If you have debris or brush or things around your home like that, please remove them, take care of them. The city offers excess trash days. We have the citywide cleanup that's coming up in May. We just encourage people to take advantage of that. It's a great program. It's offered at no additional cost. If you have a trash can out front, you're eligible to participate. So please, we just encourage people to do that and to be careful. So that's all I've got.
Thank you, sir. And we all second that, I'm sure. And with that, we will consider the meeting adjourned.